Yeah, you are all welcome to today's class, and I'm very much happy to be anchoring today once again. On behalf of the international team, I welcome everyone to today's class and all delegates from various countries participating in this class today. And I also want to use the opportunity to welcome our trainer for the day. I've also cited that he's already seated and very much in our midst. You say, so going forward for today's class, we are looking at health and safety management systems, and we have no other person to handle this very course than a very seasoned professional who will be lecturing us from Indonesia, which is no other person. Yes, Dr. Hassan Zonham. He's not actually in Pakistan, he's currently in Indonesia, and that is where he'll be lecturing us from at this point. He's a seasoned professional in the field of health and safety and environment, and he's also an educationist within this industry. Doctor, over to you, please. You are welcome. And we have here different professionals at various levels, from professional to students. They are all in this class at different levels, and I believe they are going to fly along with you as you treat or do the needful. Thank you so much and welcome us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel, for organizing today's lecture. Sorry for not starting the ice-breaking session because the time is short for this. So I would directly go to the course contents. In this course, we have 10 of the units. The first unit is based on the safety law. The second unit is about health and hygiene. The third one is about recognizing safety hazards. The fourth unit is about manual handling. The fifth one is hazardous substances. Sixth one is noise in workplace. The seventh one is about machine and equipment safety. The eighth unit is based on personal protective equipment. Ninth unit is about working in confined spaces. And the last unit, unit 10, is about emergency procedure.
Getting started. Successful safety cultures are led from the top, where your actions and attitudes send a message to your workers that you're serious about their health and safety. Effective safety management in a workplace requires involvement from everyone to make it safe. To do this successfully, people need to understand their responsibilities and how they can meet them. Talking with your team. Effective consultation encourages greater awareness of issues and can lead to improved safety outcomes. Seeking workers' input when making decisions shows them that you take their health and safety seriously. This includes concerns about your workers' well-being, because mental health is as important as physical health. Follow up on your workers' suggestions and make improvements with a record of safety discussions. Managing hazards. Part of managing health and safety in your workplace is controlling the risks. To do this, you will need to accurately identify potential hazards. Having identified potential hazards, you'll need to first consider if they can be eliminated. If this is not possible, then consider the risks involved and put practicable measures in place to control them. Information, training, and supervising your team. Training, including workplace inductions, is one of the best ways to ensure that the people in your business are safe while at work. It provides workers with information about the potential risks associated with their work, the safety policies and procedures you have in place, as well as how to work safely and deal with emergencies. It also ensures that your workers understand their work environment, their job expectations, and employment conditions. Maintaining a safe workplace. It is everyone's responsibility to maintain a safe workplace. Regular communications between management and staff is crucial to keeping safety a priority. Add safety as an item to your regular meetings so staff feel comfortable bringing up any issues as they arise. Keeping records. Written records of your work health and safety activities, near misses and incidents are important for your business. These records can help demonstrate what you have done to manage safety in your workplace. This can be important if an incident occurs requiring investigation. Monitoring and reviewing to improve. Managing and improving health and safety needs to be ongoing. Safety processes and operation evolve with time, and workers and equipment can come and go, changing the risks in your workplace. When you actively seek to identify hazards, inform, train and supervise your team, you can be confident that you are managing the risks and the people exposed to them. Guidance material and templates are available to complement these steps and provide you with more information. For assistance with work health and safety in your business, you can request a free visit from our small business safety advisors by calling 1800 019.
Okay, so these were the some of the important steps to manage work health and safety in the workplace. So now, getting further, let's start. Okay. Our first unit is about the safety law. Okay. The safety law says the Health and Safety at Work Act HSAWA 1974 requires that workplace provide adequate training of staff to ensure health and safety procedures are understood and adhered to, and adequate welfare provisions for a safe working environment that is properly maintained and their operations within it are conducted. So health and safety procedures are very necessary for the workers to know, and proper safe working environment shall be maintained in the workplace so that each and every activity must be you can say proceed efficiently and effectively. Making sure everyone at work knows how to be safe and follows the rules is important. Also, taking care of the well-being of the staff, and they are working. Keeping the workplace safe means fixing the things that are broken and making sure everything is in good condition. Lastly, when the people are doing their jobs, they should always do them in a way that keeps everyone safe and healthy. So who is responsible for workplace safety? Yes, my dear delegates, would you like to help me out to answer this question, that who is responsible to workplace safety? Yes, any one of you, any volunteer?
Everyone is responsible, sir.
Everyone is responsible, and the employer too. You are responsible for your safety and the employer.
Perfect, everyone. Hats off to all. Managers, supervisors, or team coordinators, they all are responsible for making sure that the environment is safe to work in. So some of the responsibilities include adequate lighting, a clean and tidy work area. With adequate lighting, workers can produce more products with fewer mistakes, which can lead to a 10 to 50% increase in productivity. Good lighting can decrease errors by 30 to 60%, as well as decrease eye strain and the headaches, nausea and neck pain, which is often eye strain. So it's very, very necessary to ensure the work and health safety in the workplace. So it's the responsibility of everyone, those who are working in the workplace. How do you ensure effective workplace safety? Yes. Yes, my dear. Anyone wants to volunteer? Yes. How do you ensure effective workplace safety? Anyone would like to answer?
Use safe equipment.
Anyone of you?
Using safe
Yes.
equipment and machine.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Anyone else?
Yeah, by adhering to the workplace safety rules and regulations.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let us see. Yes. Safe machines and materials. So here you can see the safety equipment, the safety signs, the safety guards, chemicals stored separately. We also have the safe working practices, which is the job rotation, standard operating procedures. And for the facilities for workers, we have lunch rooms, information, instruction and training, toilets and wash basins, and first aid equipment. So here we have two of the terms. The first one is the job rotation and the other one is the standard operating procedures. So in which an individual is taken from one department over. This allows the individual to train on different aspects of the job. So it is the best way to keep the employees away from dullness. So this, you can say, the management tool is the best tool for an individual to enhance his or her knowledge. The second term is the standard operating procedure, SOP. So a standard operating procedure is a set of written instructions that document a routine or repetitive activity followed by an organization. So as you know that during the COVID-19 situation, every of the organization, they were preparing the SOPs. So they were the written instructions which everyone has to follow within the organization or outside the organization. So here we have the safety signs. The signs and symbols that you see in the workplace are to help remind you or tell you about something. So now, do you recognize any of these? Yes, my dear delegates. Would you like to recognize these safety signs? The first one is
Hand glove. Wear your gloves.
Yes,
That's the first one. Second one is
the
first
second one.
aid.
First aid. No smoking.
No smoking. The last one.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Exactly. First aid, no smoking, gloves must be worn. Perfect. Hats off. Okay, another video, workplace safety, safety at work. Let me play this video.
Workplace safety. Why, how often, and to whom do workplace accidents occur? How often do accidents occur in the workplace? A lot more often than people think. Every year, over 3 million workers are injured on the job. And there are about 5,000 deaths each year in the workplace. Who is injured most often at work? It is younger workers. Workers who are between the ages of 15 and 25. These workers are twice as likely to be injured at work. Almost 1 million end up in the emergency center each year. An average of 600 die from fatal work injuries. Why are younger workers injured at work more often than older workers? Well, many younger workers lack experience or proper training. Some may be less likely to speak up and ask questions. Younger people tend to take more risk and tend to do jobs that are more dangerous. When it comes to accidents in the workplace, which ones are most common? Slips, trips, and falls. These are the most common types of workplace accidents. It is estimated that there are 25,000 slip, trips, and falls each day at work. They account for 25% of all workplace injuries and 15% of fatalities. Be careful not to underestimate the seriousness of slip, trips, and falls. For instance, if a person falls on their head from only 3 feet high, it will cause injuries similar to running as fast as you can into a brick wall. When analyzing the causes of workplace accidents, what are the most common? There are 5. Laziness, being distracted or tired, alcohol and drug use, overconfidence, and ignoring safety procedures and rules. Laziness. This is when a worker tries to take a shortcut in doing a certain task. When working with dangerous tools or machines, taking a shortcut exposes a person to unnecessary risk and potential danger. Being distracted or tired is another very common cause of accidents in the workplace. You need to be 100% focused on your task and your surroundings. Not paying attention for a fraction of a second can lead to a serious accident. Another common cause of accidents, alcohol and drug use. To be safe at work, you need 100% of your capabilities. Drugs or alcohol will slow a worker's reaction time, make him or her more careless or clumsy. Overconfidence can also be a cause of accidents at work, especially with younger workers. This is when a worker feels they are invincible or they are so good at their job that nothing bad can happen to them. The last cause of accidents in the workplace, ignoring safety procedures or rules. Safety rules and procedures are created to prevent accidents. Ignoring them will eventually lead to someone getting hurt and possibly killed. When you look closely at the common causes of workplace accidents, what do you think links them all together? What links them together is a lack of awareness and focus on the job site. More often than not, the person involved were not thinking of safety or keeping it as their first priority.
I hope you all like the video. Okay, let me start from the Okay, so this was the end of the first unit. Now starting from the second unit, that is about the health and hygiene. What do you understand they do? Health and safety committees and employers who meet to discuss health and safety and welfare in the workplace. So health and safety committees assist in developing health and safety policies and consult with the employer in changing of the policies or procedures. So at least half of the committee members must be workers so that they can understand the problem. The committee must meet at least every 3 months or sooner. to understand the problems of the workers. Members of the committee who represent workers are elected by workers. If your supervisor, team member cannot fix a problem, it should go to the committee to be discussed, in which the workers who are the member of the committee, they will be implementing the situation more positively. So here we have the two terms. The first one is the disease and the other term is hygiene. So getting a disease is not like catching a cold. Diseases usually develop slowly. If you are aware of your body and notice any changes, you might be able to get help for your health a lot worse. For hygiene, this is about keeping yourself, food areas and toilet areas clean. So here we have what can you do to make sure that you don't spread germs and bacteria at home or in the day. So these are the questions you can see in front of you. Make sure you wipe food benches with clean cloth. Don't share earmuffs, gloves or masks with other member. Wash your hands every day you use the toilet. Shower regularly. So these are the points to keep yourself clean and avoid spreading the germs and bacteria at home. Unit 3 is about recognizing safety hazards. So here we have the 6 basic terms that apply to risk assessment. The first one is based on risk assessment. The second one is about hazard. The third one is hazardous event. The fourth one is the likelihood. The fifth one is consequence, and the last is the risk. So let's proceed and go through each of the terms. The first one is the risk assessment. It is a process of identification of hazards, estimating the associated risks, and evaluating the risks to determine the significance of risk. So here we have 3 steps to assess the risk. The first is the hazard identification. The second step is the risk assessment, and the third is the risk evaluation. In the first step, you have to identify what type of risk is it. In the second step, you have to estimate the value of risk, and in the third one, you have to evaluate the exact risk that of which category it belongs. So here you can also see the steps. Hazard identification, decide who might be harmed and how, evaluate the risk and decide on precautions, record your findings and implement them, review your assessment and update if necessary. So these are basically the steps which are taken in different organizations. It depends on you that how you have made the steps. It can be 3, 5, 8, 10, it depends on you. The second one is the hazard. A hazard is anything that has the potential to cause harm. For example, a piece of complicated machinery and hot drink, if it could be harmful in any way, then it's a hazard. So at the bottom side of the slide, you can see safety hazards, biological hazards, physical hazards, ergonomic hazards, and chemical hazards. So these are the types. These are the basic types. We will be discussing more about types of hazards. The third one is the hazardous event. So what is hazardous event? It takes place when someone or something interacts with the hazard. and harm results. For example, suppose there is a hole in the ground. The hole by itself is not causing any harm, but if something tripped over it, then it would become harm. So when something will trip over it, that is the hazardous event, because it interacts with the hazard and harm results. So that is basically the hazardous event. The fourth one is the likelihood. Likelihood is a measure of the chance that the hazardous event will occur. How many times? So if the hole is in a busy area, such as the shop entrance, it's more likely someone will trip over it. However, if it's in an area that does not get a lot of traffic, such as backyard of your house, then tripping over it would be less likely. So number of times is basically the number of chances is basically the likelihood. And the fifth one is the consequence. What is the outcome of hazardous event? So let's go through the example. If you trip over a hole, there could be several possible outcomes. Number of outcomes. You might land on your feet with no damage at all. That is the first possibility. The second possibility can be you might drop whatever you were carrying. And the third possibility can be, or perhaps you could end up with a fracture. So this is the consequence. And the last term is risk. So that is the combination of likelihood of a hazardous event occurring and the consequence of the event. So this combined likelihood and consequences makes up risk. So here is a risk matrix. You can see the impact and the probability. From here we can measure the risk matrix. It can be of 3 by 3, 5 by 5. It depends on the organization what type of risk matrix they want to use it. The green one is the low risk, the yellow one is the medium risk, and the red one indicates the high value of risk. Here you can see the word probability and impact. So basically, probability and impact are important concepts in risk management. Probability refers to the likelihood of a risk event occurring, while event impact refers to the severity. So in risk management, these both terms are used to assess and prioritize the risk. So risk with high and the risk with low impact. Probability is like the chance of something risky happening, and impact is how bad it could be if it does happen. So in risk management, we look at these two terms to figure out which risks are more serious. Like the one we saw in the risk matrix, that the green one is the low, the yellow one is medium, and the red one is the extreme high. So if something has a high chance of happening and would be really bad if it does, we focus more on that and put more effort into dealing with it. If the chance is low and it wouldn't be too bad, we might not worry about it as much. This is the, you can say, scenario in every of the organization, that we only focus on high risk, not on low risk. So here is the hierarchy of hazard control diagram. You can see The first is the eliminate, get rid of. The second one is the substitute, change. The third one is the engineering control, make something new. The fourth one is the administrative control, instructions and signs. And the last one is the personal protective equipment that include the. And I hope you have gone through the course of personal protective equipment before. Okay, now going through the hierarchy of hazard, the first one is the eliminating the hazard. So the most important method of risk control is to completely eliminate the hazard. One way to do this is to replace hazardous with something that removes the hazard completely. So instead of unloading a lorry load of heavy gravel bags by hand, you should use a crane to lift the bag. As you can see the picture also. In this way you can eliminate the hazard. The second one is reducing the hazard. How you reduce the hazard? Excuse me. The next preferred option is to reduce the hazard. So instead of trying to carry a box of photocopier paper which hold 5 rims, carry 1 or 2 rims at a time. This will reduce the hazard. So here we have to note that elimination or reduction are the best methods of risk control. The third one is the engineering control, which is the third most effective means of controlling the hazards. It do not eliminate hazards. People hazards. It also focuses on the source of the hazard, unlike other types of controls generally focus on the impact. The basic concept behind engineering control is that it protects workers by removing the hazardous conditions or by placing barriers. So engineering controls include machine guard, design of a work, material handling, devices, etc. So in this way you can keep yourself safe from the hazard because it keeps a barrier, or you can say it places a barrier between the worker and the hazard. The fourth one is the administrative control. Administrative control typically changes the behavior of people. Example is factory workers. Rather than removing the actual hazard or providing personal protective equipment. So here you can see the management controls may include the policies and procedures, training, and safety plan. So all this comes in administrative control. That change the behavior of people. The fifth one is the personal protective equipment. Using PPE such as the goggles, respiratory protection, gloves and hard hats can prevent harm to people if they come into contact with the hazard. So PPE should not considered as first choice control measure except in exceptional circumstances, for example in case of emergency. So remember, you must provide adequate safety signs if there is a significant risk that can't be avoided or controlled in any other way. Okay, the fourth unit is about the manual handling. Manual handling can be defined as any task or any activity that requires workers' ability with their hands and strength. So the factors to be considered in manual handling is the load, individual capacity, the task you are performing, and the environment in which you are performing the task. So these 4 factors must be considered while during the manual handling. When lifting, pushing, pulling, lowering and carrying, you need to be very careful. You must hurt yourself. You might, your fingers, hand, leg or arm might get harmed. You must hurt your back, your spine or your muscles. You might sprain your ankle. So you need to be very careful while lifting, pushing, lowering and carrying. Okay, here is the quiz for all of you. Okay, I will read the instructions and you can fill in the blanks one by one. Sorry. Fill in the blanks in the sentences using the words from the list below. Van had a dash with his job. Yes, any one of you can use the word from this list. The bottom side. Van had a dash with his job. Yes.
One had a problem.
Man had a
Okay,
problem.
perfect. Yes, he was finding it very difficult to push the dash.
Trolley.
Exactly. Yes.
Trolley.
He did not. Yes, perfect. He did not want to take a dash with his dash.
You do not want to take risk
With his hand.
with his back. You do not want to take risk with his back.
Yes, exactly. They decided that the best dash was to replace the wheels on the trolley.
Solution.
Perfect.
But the best solution was to replace the wheel.
Exactly. To all of you, hats off. Perfect. Now our fifth unit is about hazardous substances. So let's go through it. Hazardous substances or chemicals can make you sick if you come in contact with them or injure you. Some common products that contain chemicals are petrol, alcohol, battery, oil-based paint, cleaning products, fluid, pesticides, cigarettes, hair dye, etc. So these are just the list of the, you can say, the products which contains hazardous substances or chemicals. How do hazardous substances enter the body? So that's a very critical question. So here are 3 ways in which the hazardous substances can enter the body. These are as follows. The first one is the inhalation, that is called the breathing in. The second one is the skin or eye contact, and the third one is the eating or drinking. So the first one is the inhalation, breathing in. Breathing in of vapors and dust is the main way that hazardous substances enter the body. It's true. In the lungs, chemicals are absorbed from the air directly into the bloodstream and are carried to all parts of the body. So the dust particles are not absorbed into the blood, but they can penetrate the lungs and remain there, causing a lot of damage. So hazardous substances can enter the body while breathing in. So it's very dangerous for human health and for the body. The second one is the skin or eye contact. Some chemicals can enter the body easily through the surface of the skin, while others can enter through cuts or scratches on the skin. So see, it's also dangerous. Third one is the eating or drinking. So people can swallow food and drink which have been contaminated with chemicals in the workplace or through chemicals on their hands. So dust particles in the air can be swallowed. So in this way, it can be very dangerous for the human health. If you decide the chemical may affect you, you can follow the hierarchy of the hazard. The first one was eliminate the chemical, or substitute or replace the chemical with the safer one. The third one was with engineering control, so putting it in good exhaust ventilation. For fourth, there we can use the administrative control, such as changing the way the job is done. That is the administrative control. And the last one was use PPE, such as wearing the gloves or a mask, hard hat, etc. Personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipment is clothing or equipment that protects you while working. If you cannot eliminate, substitute, or change the way you work with the chemical, you need to wear your personal protective equipment. This includes the helmet, hand glove, safety shoe, face shield, eye goggles, etc. So while working in your workplace, personal protective equipment is required in case of emergency. Okay, here we have another quiz. I will repeat the same exercise in front of you and you will have to repeat the activity. You can use the words from the list below. Okay, exposure to a dash substance may cause illness or injury. Yes.
Hazardous substance.
Hazardous.
Okay, hazardous, perfect. To dash yourself from a hazardous dash.
To protect yourself.
From hazardous substance.
Yeah, you should first try to dash the substance.
To eliminate.
Perfect. You need to wear your PPE to ensure you do not dash chemicals through your skin.
Absorb chemical.
Perfect. One way to check whether a chemical is a dash to you is to look at the material safety data sheet.
One way to check whether a chemical is a hazard to you is to look at the material safety.
Perfect. Hats off to you all. Perfect, perfect. You all are active. Okay, all done, all done. Perfect. Okay, now the sixth unit is noise in workplace. What is the noise? Noise is caused by the vibration of air particles like waves in the sea. Noise is unwanted sound. Many workplaces are very noisy, and this can definitely affect your hearing over a long period of time. Measuring noise. So sound intensity is measured in units. That is called decibels. The following diagram gives examples of common noises and their decibel values from low to high. The chart below shows the noise levels produced by various noise sources. So here you can see the irritating effect on people and the sound level in decibel from sound source. So from 0 to 90, the sound is irritating and not very much dangerous to human ear. This can include heavy traffic, normal conversation, low conversation, whispering, rustling of leaves, etc. From above 90 till 120, it causes damage to the ear. And the sound source includes chainsaw, sheet metal workshop, etc. and above 120 till 140, it is extreme. It can affect a lot of damage. In this, jet engine can be included, rivet hammer can be included, so it's dangerous. So we should be careful that from 0 to 90, it's bearable. You can easily bear the sound, bear the noise. Otherwise, it will be damaged and you can lose the hearing. So you can see the intensity is measured in decibels and frequency is from low to high. And above 85 decibels for a short time only, because above 85 or 90, it is really damaging to your ears. Okay, hearing loss. If you have a hearing loss problem, it can be either permanent or temporary hearing loss. You will probably not hear the higher frequency sound. Noise is measured at work using a noise meter. It is important to measure the intensity and the frequency. This is done by a scale called decibels. So a worker should not continuously expose to a noise level above 85 decibels. So 85 to 90 is bearable. You can easily bear the noise, but above 90 it becomes very difficult for you. Here are the safety tips avoiding the noise problems. What can you do to help yourself and others? Close the doors designed to reduce the noise. Report any noise problems with machines. Make sure you know how to correctly use your ear protectors. Have your hearing checked by a doctor. So these are the safety tips in order to avoid the noise problems. Unit 7 is about machine and equipment safety. Almost all the equipment, machinery and appliances that you see at work is called plant, except manually powered tools such as scissors, hammers, saws and knives. These are not termed as plant, but only the equipment, the machinery and all the appliances that you use at your workplace is called plant. Okay, we have the hazards generally fall into 6 board groups, but I have here mentioned 10 of the hazards. So let's go through it. The first one is the mechanical hazards. The second one is the physical hazards. The third one is the chemical hazards. The fourth one is the biological hazards. The fifth one is the environmental hazards. The sixth one is organizational hazards. Man-made hazards. This is the new for all of you. Natural hazards, psychological hazards, and ergonomic hazards. Okay. Okay, here is the list of all the 10 hazards. So I would request you all to give one at least example for each of the mentioned category. Yes, any one of you can volunteer for mechanical hazard. Yes, please. Only one example, not more.
The noise of a machine.
Okay. Perfect. Yes,
That
for
is
physical hazard.
Physical hazard.
Sleep and fall.
Okay. For chemical hazard.
Petrol.
Petrol, yes.
Sorry.
No safety guard on machine.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, good. For biological hazard. Yes.
Biological hazard, having rats in workplaces.
Okay. For
Biological hazard, wild animals. Example, snakes in a workplace.
Okay. For environmental hazard.
Environmental hazard, oil spillage.
Plastic.
Pothole on the road.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Okay. Okay. For organizational hazard.
For example, work. Bad position. Yes.
For man-made hazard.
Not following
the new term.
rules and safety
Sorry?
in the workplace. Not following rules and regulation of safety in the workplace is
No. Okay.
Poor housekeeping.
or carelessly living in
And for ergonomic hazard.
places.
Back
pains.
Proper lifting.
Okay. Let us go through the examples I have placed over here. For mechanical hazard, we have contact with machinery or equipment.
Yes.
Yes. For physical hazard, we have wet floor, open wiring. For chemical hazard, we have gas, fumes, etc. For biological hazard, we have infection, virus. For environmental hazard, we have noise, dust. For organizational hazard, we have work shift, interpersonal issues within a team or with a supervisor, etc. Man-made hazard is the terrorism, war. Natural hazard includes earthquake, floods, hurricanes, volcanoes, like this one. Psychological hazard includes stress, harassment, and ergonomic hazard includes repeated work. Okay, we have a very interesting activity right now. Okay, here you can see a picture in front of you. So all of my dear delegates, you have to mention the hazards. Okay, don't you can say categorize the exact hazard. You just want to say that this is the hazard. You don't need to say that this is a biological hazard or this. No, only you have to identify the hazard. For example, I can mention there is mentioned there is mentioned no smoking and a person is smoking in that area. So this is the first hazard I have mentioned. Now you can proceed further. Yes, please.
We have a very slippery floor there.
Okay, wet floor. Perfect. Yes.
We have ergonomic hazard and we have leg trap with wire.
One by one, please. Yes.
Sleeping and fall, water on the floor.
Okay, perfect.
Hard hat area and nobody is wearing hard hats.
Good. Yes.
Heavy equipment falling.
There is a bad wire connection.
Yeah, that is leg trap.
Okay.
Nobody is wearing hand gloves. Nobody is wearing hand gloves.
Okay, yes.
I think we have an administrative problem. So
exactly. You can see. You can also see the big boxes.
The fire exit is blocked.
The fire exit is blocked.
Yes.
And there's exposed moving parts.
Yes, the fire exit.
The fire exit
And
is
the
blocked.
girl, and you can see the girl is not using ear muffs.
Yes.
Exactly. And you can see the wire around.
Yes,
Open wire. It's an open wire. Yes.
Yeah.
No, where is the open fire, please?
The fire
You can
exit.
you can also see that the girl is not wearing the goggles.
Yes.
Safety gloves. She is not wearing the safety gloves. And also you can see a picture. A picture is placed in front of the symbol.
The helmet is in his hand. He did not use the helmet.
Yes. Perfect.
And there is this man carrying a heavy
ergonomic hazard.
Where they say no smoking, he's comfortably smoking.
Exactly. Perfect.
You can imagine.
I think that's all.
He was not using the air muffs. She was not using the
exactly. Yes.
And the eye
It has been pointed. Yes.
goggles on.
Perfect.
I think the whole place is just scattered and it's not a safety environment.
No 5S. They are not maintaining 5S.
They even blocked the fire exit. So when it happens, where are they running to?
Wow.
Perfect. Exactly.
No good housekeeping. They will all be burnt to ashes.
Yes. You all are correct. Perfect. Hats off to all of you for this. Thank you so much for helping me out. Let's go to the.
If you go to the and safety instruction is covered, they have covered the instruction.
Exactly. Yes. The instructions are being hid with the picture. Okay, here we have the machine guarding. The guards protect operators from getting their hands, hair, or other parts of their body or clothing caught in a machine. So here you can see the isolation and tagging procedure, in which people should always be turned off when maintenance people are fixing a machine. There will be a tag on the machine to ensure that the machine is under maintenance. And you can see the machine and equipment inspection card in front of you, which contains certain information, which includes names of the group members, what is the day-to-day, what is the name of the workstation, who is the supervisor, what job you are inspecting, and a detail of the questions in front of you. So this is basically machine and equipment inspection. Okay. We have Unit 9, the personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipment is clothing or equipment that protects you while working. So if you do not eliminate, substitute, or change the way you work with the chemical, you need to wear your personal protective equipment, which includes the helmet, hand gloves, safety shoe, face shield, eye goggles. So here we have the term training. Here are some of the training requirements that each employee who is required to use PPE must be trained to know. When PPE is necessary, what PPE is necessary, how to properly put on, take off, adjust, and wear the PPE, proper care, maintenance, useful life, and disposal of PPE. So these are the requirements of the training that need to be aware of by the employee. And this is the responsibility of the employer to perform hazard assessment, provide appropriate PPE, train the employees, replace or maintain PPE, review, update and evaluate the PPE program. So here we have the, you can say, requirements of the employee to maintain the training and responsibilities of employer. So what is the responsibility of employee? Properly wear PPE, attend PPE training, care for, clean and maintain PPE, inform supervisor of needs for replacement. Okay, another activity. Okay, now I have to check your knowledge. Here I will be giving a few of the MCQs and you have to answer correctly. The first one is the common causes of foot injuries include crushing, penetration, molten metal, chemicals, slippery surfaces, and sharp objects. True or false?
True.
True.
Are you sure?
True. False.
Yes.
Okay, majority have said true. Okay, let's see the answer.
False.
Why is this so dirty?
Okay, let me see the answer.
True.
Exactly true.
True.
Yeah. True.
Wow. Okay. The second one is, who is responsible for providing PPE needed to comply with OSHA standards? The employee, OSHA, the employer, or workers' compensation?
The employer.
Employer.
Employer? Okay. Okay, let me check.
The employer.
Employer. Wow, perfect. Okay. The third one is, hazard controls must be addressed in which order of priority? Substitution, PPE, workaround and administrative. The B option is workaround,
D.
stop work, PPE and engineering. E
Option D.
PPE engineering.
D.
Substitution, engineering, administrative.
Which option? Which option?
No.
Option
D. D.
Okay, D. Okay, you have said D. Okay. Yes, option D is correct answer.
Oh, wow.
Perfect. Okay. The fourth one is, hearing protection is required when noise level exceeds OSHA's scale of dash dBA. Decibels.
It's
Yes.
80.
80.
80.
Option A.
Option A. Okay.
A.
Wow. B. It was 85 and close to 85 is 90.
Hearing protection is required when noise level
Exactly. Yes. 90.
90.
Yes. Because close to 85 is 90.
Yes. 85
Yes, exactly.
decibel.
Okay. Who is responsible for providing the specialized work footwear? Insurance companies, the employee, OSHA, or the employer?
The employer.
Employer.
B.
Yes. Wow. Perfect. Okay. Which of the following is not considered PPE? Rubber gloves, sports shoes, or hearing gloves?
Sports shoes.
Sports shoes.
Sports shoes.
B. Sports shoes.
Wow. Okay, good. Hats off to all of you. Wow. Okay, coming to the unit 9, working in confined spaces. So here is a question that what is confined space? Confined space is an enclosed or partly enclosed space. Workers do not normally work there. So what are the reasons that workers do not work there? It may be hard to enter and exit. It may have low oxygen levels or chemicals may be present. It may not have normal air pressure. It may cause... So these are the reasons due to which workers do not work normally in confined space.
Chemical storage.
So here we have the few of the examples. A chemical storage,
Please, we should all mute our mics, please.
The phone is
a furnace. Yes.
Let's
So this
unmute our
includes
mics,
the
please.
examples of confined space. Kindly mute your mics so that I can deliver you properly. Thank you so much, all. Okay. What must the worker do before entering a confined space? So here we have, you can say, the precautionary measures. Before entering a confined space, the worker must check if there is a safe level of oxygen, if there are not dangerous levels of chemicals in the air, if there are flammable gases. Check the temperature. It should not be too hot or too cold. Be protected from germs. Make sure all the machines are turned off. And the last unit is the emergency procedure. Okay, an emergency is a fire, a gas leak, a chemical spill, a bomb threat, a serious injury, a power failure. So all this is emergency. For evacuation, we have different steps. We have few of the steps. The first one is the shut down your machine. Go straight to your department assembly point. Do not go to your locker. Your warden will count everybody. Do everything that the warden tell you. Walk. Do not run to the section assembly point outside the building. Your warden will count everybody again. Stay at the assembly point until your warden tells you what to do. So these are the important steps to keep in mind while evacuating from your workplace in case of emergency. And here is the emergency evacuation, that it is the immediate and rapid movement of people away from the threat or actual occurrence of a hazard. So in every of the organization, you have seen the emergency evacuation plan in front of you. So this helps a lot in case of emergency to evacuate yourself from that area. And the conclusion of this course, workplace health and safety, has been completed. So every participant who attended this course will now be able to conduct the health and safety activities in their organizations. They can conduct the trainings of their staff and workers to make them aware about different safety issues along with their solutions. So this training material has been developed to assist employees, particularly those with limited safety knowledge and skills, to contribute to their workplace safety. This course has been designed to draw on knowledge developed in the workplace, such as identifying hazards in your workstation, inspections for manual handling, listing hazardous substances at work, explaining evacuation procedures. So participants can now practice to conduct health and safety audits in their organizations without any difficulty. Thank you so much. And I believe that you all have enhanced your knowledge. Yes, my dear delegates.
Thank you so much, and thank you for that wonderful presentation. And I believe that everyone have really understood this very topic